Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast, and now here's a man with 5 personalities, and they all suck too. Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live Big Brother recap. It's Eviction night, and we've got a huge, huge show. We just watched perhaps the greatest veto ceremony of all time. It was a real free-for-all. We're going to break everything down and tell you what exactly happened, what you didn't see in the show tonight. Plus, we're going to talk about our new HOHs. We have Derek and Nicole taking... Yeah.
H's OH, Rob.
Okay, I apologize, Ian Terry. Our new H is OH. That does not sound as good. And we are going to talk about who they are potentially going to put up on the block here on a jam-packed show. We've got 2 great Big Brother guests here with us. It's a reality Game Masters reunions of sorts. So first, let's bring in the man who's with us all the time, who can maybe shed more light on that veto ceremony, Mr. Brian Lynch. How are you?
I'm great. I feel just excited. Like I've been invited to my first Evil Genius meeting.
Yes, fantastic. Brian, is that a bald eagle on your shirt?
Oh, yeah, in honor of Derek, swooping in, grabbing Paola, and tossing her to her death.
There you go. All right, let's bring in a man who joins us every Thursday night. He is the winner of Big Brother 14. And had a number of the house guests this week tributing him. Please welcome Ian Terry.
Hey, thanks for having me, Rob.
Okay, Ian, does it make you happy when you watch videos and see Nicole and Christine kicking themselves in the head in your honor?
Yeah, it definitely makes me happy. I especially enjoy it when Nicole seems to be not only aware, but okay with the fact she's my season QT 3.14.
Did she know that already?
She doesn't quite know it, but she says she hopes that she is, so she's aware that I do that, evidently. So she must really know her stuff.
She does certainly know her stuff. And Matt, are you with us right now? Right now you're an avatar.
Am I here? Can you guys see me and hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you right now. Hopefully your picture comes back. But
I'm going to. You guys get into a discussion. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to try and get a better connection.
Okay. So Matt Hoffman is here. We'll try to get.
Keep listening. Just carry on, and I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay, that's a little tease for you. Matt Hoffman is nearby, and we'll get his picture up there. All right. So a fun show. Again, I've been talking to people about this season. Ian, I talked to the people on the street about the Big Brother, and I have nothing but glowing things to say. This has been such a wonderful season of Big Brother. I'm so happy for Devin. I'm so happy that there are some players in the game this season. It's really been almost a perfect season so far.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've loved it. It's been great to watch.
Yeah, and I know it can't last. Like, I know that we'll get to a point in a couple of weeks where it won't be as good, and we'll talk about how it got boring now that Devin is gone. But right now, I'm just trying to live. They say carpe diem, and that's. I don't think they were talking about Big Brother when they said that, but I'm just trying to, seize each day of Devin being in the house, because I think that probably a week from now, if not sooner, we're talking about that he's out.
If not sooner.
Yeah, Ian, just right now, do you think is 1 week from tonight, is Devin in the house?
No.
No. Brian, what do you think?
I think there's a strong possibility that he might be in the house still because of Nicole.
Nicole, why? Nicole wants to keep him around?
No, not that she wants to keep him around. Her main target's not Devin, it's Amber.
Okay, all right. So
yes,
we'll talk.
True.
We'll talk more about that as we go along here. I have said all along, I've maintained, once Devin sees the writing on the wall, I think he will self-evict. I think he will figure out some way to get out of the house and say he's doing it for his daughter, and he will leave the house, and he won't give them the opportunity to vote for him. But we'll talk about that, all of the scenarios when we get to later on in the show. So I'm very excited to talk about this episode. Ian, was it your feeling that this was the greatest veto ceremony of all time?
Aside from the Marcellus veto ceremony, I would say Yes, I think it was excellent viewing. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so you're referencing when Marcellus did not use the veto on him, and that was like a veto ceremony / eviction. I feel like that was kind of a different...
It was a different beast, but I mean, I don't think anything can ever top that, and if it was a standalone veto ceremony, I still would have enjoyed it, so...
Fantastic. Matt, you seem like we see your picture.
I'm back. I plugged into a wire, and I realized I was wireless, and I needed to fix that.
Okay. Matt, we were just saying at the top of the show what a wonderful season this has been so far. We, chat with Ian and Brian all the time, but we haven't heard your thoughts on this season. Have you been enjoying the Big Brother 16 as much as we have?
Yeah, it's good. I'm curious to see where it goes. I think that this Devin thing probably will be gone soon, and he is kind of the catalyst of the drama. I sort of have a feeling these people, they don't stand out to me. They seem not normal psychologically, but normal in the sense like I would hear, for instance, I would go, oh yeah, there was that crazy guy who kept flip-flopping and everything, but I wouldn't remember, oh, that's Devin. I wouldn't remember his name's Caleb. I'm talking about 2 years from now. These are not memorable people to me. They're just, I guess they're fun to watch. I don't know.
No. I don't think we're going to forget Devin. I think Devin is going to be basically a historically bad Big Brother player that we're always going to talk about and reference. I think a year from now there's going to be some new muscle guy that's going to say, oh, okay, this guy is going to be the Devin. I think that basically we're breaking the mold with this guy.
I feel like there's so many seasons that just have the guy that plays, or the girl, the person who plays a totally shit game right away and just messes everything up and goes home. And they're everywhere. And even if you thought about it, maybe we could pull them up. But I mean, these aren't the people that linger with you year after year. That's my opinion. We'll see.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if anybody has ever hit like Devin has hit. Certainly that guy is always in the house. Certainly that guy is always out before the jury. But has anybody ever had the impact in the house and on the TV show that Devin has had?
I don't know. Do you feel that casting knew this kind of thing might happen, or do you think the pre-screening psychiatrist should just be fucking fired at this point?
I think so.
Like,
I mean, Ian, you played with Willie Hantz, and I think Willie Hantz had a similar impact in your season, but he was out after a week and change but before they even had a second eviction. Devin is now going on to his third week in the house.
Right. The thing about Devin is it's sort of like this slow burn, right? Like he started off, at least like, pretty bad player, but pseudo normal. And now, I mean, it's just like completely off the deep end in every sense of the word. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that the psych test, they're trying to get you within a certain ballpark of insanity. Like, you don't want to come off as sane. No, definitely not. But you definitely don't want to be like, this guy might put a knife up to someone's throat. Well, maybe. I don't know. But somewhere in between there.
Yeah. I don't think that anybody feels like they're in physical danger from Devin. Would you guys co-sign that?
Look, I don't think they are, but if you were living in that environment, I could see where that might be a concern of yours.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. Matt, what were your thoughts on the veto ceremony tonight? So let me just give you the rundown, and then let's talk about it, because we got a little bit of a tease, and it was fantastic, and I want to just get into it. So Britney starts off. She says, "I want to say something." Zach says, "I'm next." Britney says, "I want to make it clear why I said what I said. I knew Paola was throwing the competition. She didn't wear her glasses. I know what it's like to have a knife in my back." Now Pal goes off. She starts in, "Devin's not a good person. I would rather stay with my head on the toilet bowl for another week than to stay in the house with Devin." Devin sort of, then he says that Pal did throw the competition. That she said she did it because she wanted him to use the veto, and they go back and forth. Pal says, "Your daughter is gonna laugh at you one day when she sees this," which is possible. That's not outside the realm of possibility. And basically, Devin says Paola did throw the competition, and then Zach starts off and says he has to start blowing up people's games, and says, talking about he names a bunch of people. He says, "Frankie, I know you might not vote for me. I don't know. that, Devin, you have no truth in your body. Your personality changes with the wind. I'm ranting about how much I hate you. He talks about the honesty thing, the integrity thing, and we get all of these fireworks. All right. Guys, you've been there. Have you ever seen in your day anything like this in the veto ceremony?
I mean, yeah.
Yes. Why? What sort of fireworks have you seen?
Well, I mean, post-funeral, the Britney renom in which Frank and Jen just like shit away their games. I mean, yeah. I mean, that was fireworks. I told them they shit away their games, and they did. They were gone very quickly.
Okay. Now, Brian, that I was very confused watching the show why Frankie was so upset. And we talked about how much we were going to see on the TV show. They gave us the hashtag Zanky Fallout. What was it that Zach said in the veto meeting that made Frankie so upset?
I guess that he just didn't trust him. It was confusing to me as well. I mean, the fact is that Frankie had been after Zach the whole time and had been really involved in trying to get him on the block to begin with. So everything's kind of out of whack with the narrative with Frankie.
Ian, what was your read on that situation?
Well, it seemed to me that he said, the people on this couch, I don't know. Frankie, I'd like to think, but I'm not sure, which says, hey, Frankie, I don't trust you at all. And it kind of makes it look like Frankie is untrustworthy, or that he has his fingers in too many different cookie jars. And, you know, he kind of did call him out a little bit. You know, good on Zach, though, for getting the votes. I think that by surviving that nomination, I think he's in a pretty decent spot in the game, and I'm excited to see him do some great things.
Matt, did you feel like that was an overreaction on Frankie's part? All of the, you know, he was very, very upset.
Yeah, I also was very confused, and I hear what Ian said. I never would have thought that, and I get it, but I don't agree with it. I think it's crazy still. I thought, like, I enjoy if I was in an alliance with someone, and I thought they really were tight as friends. I would want the house to not think, you know, to think that we were adversaries in some way. So if Zach did that and called him out, I would think that's cool if I was Frankie, because it widens that gap of, you know, what people think.
Brian, I've seen some people saying on Twitter that the events on the show tonight did not accurately depict what actually happened over the week. Do you feel like the TV show got very far away from what actually happened over the course of the last 4 days?
I mean, not as far as it was from, like, yesterday's episode was farther off, I believe. I mean, they can't show everything. I thought it was pretty accurate, as in the way everything blew up after the ceremony. I thought, for the most part, Derek's involvement in getting all the votes was accurate. And, yeah, I thought it was pretty accurate, unless there's something specific that they're addressing.
Ian, did you have any major discrepancies?
Not really any major discrepancies. I definitely would have liked to have seen the Devin reveals his crush on Britney storyline added to the show. I think that that was just probably some of the more the interaction between Britney, Christine, and Nicole about it was one of the funniest organic moments I'd seen on the show or on the feeds in a long time. And him telling Britney that he had a crush on her, I mean, he has taken the title away from me for most awkward interaction with a BB female ever, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Oh my God. All right, so let's talk about Zach. He stays in the house this week. That we thought it was going to be a closer vote. It ends up being 10-2. Ian and Matt, I'm interested to hear from you guys after a week of watching Zach. What your take is on him as a player. Matt, we haven't heard from you yet this season. What's your read on Zach?
I like Zach just as a character. He reminds me he's got like a Dr. Will mixed with Dan Giesling vibe to him. And not that I even am particularly affectionate towards either of those players, but this hybrid amalgamation of them I'm enjoying. He's very just brazenly cocky in a way that isn't, to me it doesn't come off as douchey because I feel he's self-aware. I think he's like playing it up and he's doing it that way, so it makes it kind of fun. I like that.
Now, I like Zach, too, and I hear what you're saying about the Dan Giesling and Dr. Will, but I feel like there's like a missing ingredient that's like mutated those guys, where he's not as smooth as either of those two players. It's almost like, I'm not sure if it's a little bit of they got a little Juhas in there, or there's some sort of unstable element that's in the equation. Ian, you're the chemist. What would that element be?
Okay, so I totally dig the Dan and Will thing, but it's one, one third or one half is like a mixture of those two, and the other half, if you've ever seen the show Workaholics, Adam DeMamp. Like there's no other. I mean, he is Adam DeMamp, and even the way that this week played out, I mean, it's just he really is. A friend of mine's like, there's nothing more Adam DeMamp than getting yourself into this like crazy scenario where you're doomed, and then having someone just bail you out completely through no work of your own. It's so true.
Let's talk a little bit about Derek. Now, Brian and I talked last night, and we both felt like we think Derek is the one that's playing the best game in the house. Ian, I know you watched this very closely. Do you feel like Derek has emerged as the best player in BB16?
Derek is far and away the best player in Big Brother 16 as of right now. However, him winning HOH, I'm not so sure on that. I mean, I will say, like, I think I'd like to see what he does with it before I give him too much credit, because I will say this: I think him and Zach had the right idea in that croquet game, going for the 28, because you could legitimately aim for that, and it's going to be the vast majority of the scores, where the other stuff was all luck. So he's at least smart in that sense.
Matt, do you have a good read on Derek after 2 weeks?
Yeah, I really want to not like him. I do. My little punk anti-authority cop, issues that I have, and he just has, to me, he had this irritating personality, but I'm growing to enjoy him. I think he's a smart player, a good player. He's got a good mind behind him, so I think he's going to go really far, actually.
I was so excited at the top of the show, I didn't really set anything up about the interactive elements of this show. Of course, all of our live shows, we've got the chat room open on robhasawebsite.com. We are also going to be taking your comments with the hashtag RHAP, and then you can also comment on our YouTube channel if you go there at robhasawebsite.com/YouTube. If you want to subscribe for all of our Big Brother podcasts, you can do that there as well. So I am very interested to know your take specifically, Ian, about this HOH competition, because I don't really understand why they did it the way they did it. So basically we had a HOH competition which was 100% random, right? Would you say that there was, or was there a tiny bit of skill there?
Oh, actually, this is an interesting one. There's quite a lot of skill. It's just that the vast majority of the players overlooked that fact. The thing is, I noticed at first that the numbers seemed to be aligned at the bottom of the board in a completely random fashion, which I wasn't too keen about, because that makes it all luck. But then I did see, when they showed the board, I go, the 28 is all the way over by the edge. So all you would really need to do is just kind of tap it so that it hits the wall, kind of bounces in a way, and then you could hit the 28 a very high percentage of the time if you're aiming at it, as opposed to the 29, which you pretty much have to get the lucky miracle shot in order to hit. So Zach and Derek had the completely right idea there, because if you aim for the 28, there's a good chance you'll hit it.
And if they're going to have the numbers like they did, was it necessary to let them practice?
I mean, aside just get a feel for the ball, no.
Okay. Matt, do you like when they just do an HOH like this?
No, it's the worst. It's a big crock of shit, man, that they stuff. Like, I'll answer the question. It's a total waste to have them practice. It's fun for them. Like, I remember as a contestant when we'd have these games, even if you were HOH, you didn't want to play them. It's fun to have them, but it's fucking pointless. I mean, to get a feel for the ball, it could have been a bowling ball or a golf ball. You could be blindfolded. It seriously does not matter. It's I hate these fucking competitions. I will say this, that in my season, I think practicing was pretty helpful, and
I think one of the reasons I did very well in the game compared to everybody else who sucked besides Shane and I think Danielle, got a score that was what we were supposed to do was practice the bank shots on the hockey thing. And I remember Julie was coming over the speaker and was like, you guys need to hurry up, like get up to the line and take your shot. So I just rushed it and whiffed. But the night before, I had the bank shots pretty much down, and had I set my ball there and taken 40 seconds to shoot like Joe did, I probably would have gotten a perfect score. Thank God I didn't because the HOH week was a complete waste. But I think in my season, it was worth it because the numbers were arranged in such a way that the high-scoring ones were at the center, and they worked their way less and less as you went out.
Yeah. I was only saying about the practice because I watched them on Big Brother After Dark last night practice. It was the most boring hour of television I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know how you can say that. Have you ever watched C-SPAN?
Yeah, no, I actually have not. I have not. All right, so let's talk about Paola a little bit. She's kind of gotten overlooked. Last night I said she was a waste of a slot in the Big Brother house. I thought that she was a mistake by casting. I think that they brought her in. I think they thought that she was going to be the next Gina Marie, and she really wasn't. But I will say in her final episode here tonight, I thought this was her best outing here on Big Brother 16. Ian, was it a good goodbye for Pow Pow?
Yeah, good goodbye for Pow Pow, but ultimately I think she added nothing memorable to the show in any way, and I think she's going to be probably one of the most forgettable contestants we've seen in a long time.
Matt, any parting thoughts about Pow Pow?
Yeah, before you even said it, I told Stacy, I'm like, she is Gina. She's like a Filipino Gina Marie. She is, from messing up her words. What she said during her eviction speech, Devin, you deserve to be here and we don't, about her and Zach. But it's like fumble after fumble, and she never really sucks. She just fucking sucks at everything socially. Even her interview with Julie Chen, she can't even do a fucking interview. How did she get cast? I would like to talk to Robin about this one in particular. I usually totally agree with Robin. I think she assembles a good cast.
I'll tell you why she got cast.
Why?
She has no interviewing skills.
Because every year, whatever is in style and the big trend makes it onto the show. Right now, that whole rave, DJ, house music, that stuff, electronic, it's in style. She's the house music DJ. Of course they put her on. It's the Asian DJ type thing. That's cool right now. Same reason Donnie's on. He's Duck Dynasty. Come on.
I also think that Pow Pow, that they thought that she was going to be a very fiery personality. If you watched her interview with Big Jeff in the pregame, where she was basically calling Big Jeff out and calling him old and stuff like that, it was funny. She was confrontational. I think they thought that she was going to have a little more pizzazz and be confrontational. She ultimately wasn't. You saw her go off at Devin a little bit there in the veto ceremony, but ultimately, not super memorable, and really just sort of, rolled over and died as far as the game is concerned.
Yeah, prototypical second week model boost.
Yes, I was going to ask you, Ian, is the model curse alive and well?
Well, Nick was a male model technically, so if you count Stephen Daigle's efforts as modeling, then I think we have model boot in week 2 going back quite a while now.
Matt, does that make you happy?
Yeah, it does make me happy. You know what I didn't like about her also is I feel that she tried too hard to be the sucky player. Lots of times people suck and they just suck, and then they just roll along as the floater because they genuinely suck. I feel like she wore it as a badge of honor, which made it almost not cool to be the sucky player in a way, if I'm making any sense at all.
Yeah. I am looking forward to speaking with Paola. I will talk to her tomorrow morning. I'll have that interview up for you guys around 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll talk to her and get to ask her a little bit more about her game. Let's talk about a couple of other things from the episode before we get into the HOH stuff. We saw, a lot of Devin starting to be upset about how this was all going to go. We saw Frankie telling Devin that that it was going to be Zach staying. Frankie seemed to throw Caleb under the bus there in that spot and said that basically Caleb was saving Zach. Brian, was that an accurate depiction of how that went down?
Yes. Yeah, he wanted to pass it off on Caleb, I guess. He wants. I don't know what Frankie still is. He's kind of confusing to me.
Now, Ian, what's been your feeling about Frankie so far this week?
I think the house of cards that Frankie had been building that was ever so delicate is starting to kind of, show signs of weakness. Like I said, he had his hand in a lot of different cookie jars, and I think it was too early. It was impressive at the very beginning, but not buying it. Not buying it anymore.
Matt, I know you're a big fan of the musical stylings of Ariana Grande, and I know you were pumped up to see Frankie Grande this season. So, do you feel like he's done a good job so far?
No, mind you, I read the feed blogs, but I don't watch too much, and I'm having a hard time figuring out what's the real thing that he's into. I thought it was him and Zach. I thought that was the real thing, but I don't know. I can't follow his game well, probably less than anyone else.
Yeah. My favorite part of the episode is when we talk about Frankie telling Devin about basically what Caleb is doing. And Devin says, well, I'm not in the squad anymore, bro. And he tells us basically the new twist of BB16 is we thought it was the Battle of the Block was the twist of the season. It turns out that the twist is, dude, it's the whole house against the love. Is going to have to stop the love of a father for his daughter, bro. Love of a father for his daughter versus the house. Who you guys got?
I got the house.
The house. Yeah, what do you think? Who you got? The love of a father for his daughter or the house?
Yeah, I have a daughter myself, and I'm going with the house.
Oh, Matt, could be perfect for the bomb squad if you go back into the house. You could be in the parent alliance.
A big power play someone, or they'll just tack me onto the end. Doesn't matter.
Bro, Matt, I would never put you on the block, bro. You've got a daughter. I know how much that means to you. You could be HOH. Your daughter's initials are HOH. You could get to see her picture, bro. You and I, we could go to the end. I promise you. I swear to you. I will never put you on the block. What do you think?
I probably would play that angle if poised in the house with him. I think that would be a way to shoot for it.
Now, Matt, I just want to tell you something else. My daughter, she has a condition that nobody's ever heard of before, and it's really important that I win the money, so I just want to let you know about that, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just joking about this.
Oh God, that's right. That would be a horrible strategy for somebody
You're
to
gonna
do.
upset a lot of people.
All right. Let's look ahead now to Nicole versus or Nicole and Derek and their nominations. Do we think that this is going to be the first time that we're not going to see the H's OH working together on the nominations, Ian?
Actually, it very well might be, according to what Brian said. And the thing that worries me is that Derek always seems to just kind of, in this very subtle way, just throw Nicole under the bus. So the more and more I think about it, it's just this very odd sense of worry for me. I don't know if that's rational to have that fear, or just because I think she's super hot and don't want her to get voted out. But I don't know. It's kind of weird.
What do you think is going to happen here, Matt? Do you think that we will see the two HOHs or H's OH working against each other?
No, I do think they are going to work together. I'm concerned. I have a question for Ian, because Ian and I do have a lot of offline conversations. We're both big Nicole fans for slightly different reasons. But
they really boil down to the same reasons. It's just the intentions are different.
Yeah, very.
I think they're different reasons. Brian, what do you think?
They are kind of different.
I don't know. What are the reasons?
Well, Ian finds her unspeakably hot, and I think she's cute, but she's to me she's so genuine and nerdy and awkward in just a really fun fan type of way. Yeah.
Right.
But my question for Ian, now that she's HOH, is there a danger? Like, I was curious if you're happy for her because she won, obviously it's cool, or if there's a bit of trepidation because now if she gets the HOH bet, and this could kind of spiral down that showmance with Hayden if he starts crashing up there now, ruins the whole fucking thing, right?
Well, I mean, I think Christine would be the front runner to sleep upstairs, and sure, I mean, it could ruin the whole thing, but you never know. I might have some tricks up my
I
sleeve.
will let the record show that McCranda started when McRae won the HOH, hashtag SeaWorld.
Well, fair enough, but I mean, also, I think Hayden has been trying for weeks there and has not had too much success.
And let's not gloss over the fact, if you guys here watching this podcast have been paying attention, Ian has been rocking in his chair almost the entire time. Nicole, if you were paying attention, as soon as she won HOH, from the second she got in, her entire time she's talking to Julie, was doing the Ian rock. And I don't know if that was a throwback tribute or if they're really, you guys are just kindred spirits and you're going to have little rocky children together. It's going to be the greatest thing.
What if you guys rock at different frequencies, though? Couldn't that be a major problem?
Yeah, I mean, acoustics, the destructive interference cancels out. You never know.
What if she's your sister, dude?
Oh, no!
Yeah, I have a feeling if choice B is chosen, which I'm actually hoping for choice B, I feel like that's probably the go-to.
Okay, let's talk through what the H's OH may want to do. Ian, I know you have a good read on Nicole. So who do you think that she puts into the battle of the block? Does she go with people that will win the competition, or does she go after targets?
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine today. Nobody should ever be nominating Devin for the battle of the block under any real circumstance. But it's not wasted on nominating someone like Caleb. That's okay. You may as well put Caleb up because how did I work this out earlier? If you put Devin and Caleb up, obviously that's a bad idea. Or if you put up like Devin and Amber, that's a pretty bad idea too. But if you put up one or the other, and then the only way that that's going to go sour is if the other wins veto. But if you put up, God, never mind. I'm just like lost, but it makes sense when you really think about it. So
Ian Math.
Yeah, it's very odd. I had it all figured out.
It was a little like Derek Math in that moment.
Devin Math, right? But,
Devin Math.
You may as well put only one up. You should put one of them up, and it should probably be Caleb if you're trying to get out Devin, because that way you can't guarantee that both will be. You can't like just put two people up so that you know one of them will go no matter what anymore, because if they win Battle of the Block, then they win Battle of the Block. The other thing is, by doing so, you leave the opportunity out there that one wins the veto and pulls the other one down, and they're both safe. So there's no way to pull that move effectively anymore. Like, you have to always run that risk no matter what you do, that both will be safe in some way. So I say put up one of them, and then like the floaters, like Jocasta, your Donnie, your I would say like maybe she wants to get Amber out, so someone like that. But at this point, I'm just pontificating. But that's the play here. Like, you can't. There's no more put up, so and so and so and so, and at least one will be on the block to go next this week. You can't do that anymore.
Is the strategy almost put up the two weakest players possible so that you can remain the HOH and then potentially win the veto so you could backdoor your real target?
Yes, with the caveat being that if one of the three people drawn is your target and you have two very weak people on the block, that's two people that are very unlikely to win veto and make it easier for your real target who got their chip drawn to actually come, pull through, win the veto, and then you end up wasting the HOH that you fought hard to keep on the likes of, Jocasta.
So if you're saying that Amber is Nicole's target, do we have any evidence that Devin will be Derek's target? Or Derek said tonight that he wants to keep Zach and Devin going for as long as possible. He likes the chaos. Matt, what do you think?
I'm a fan of the chaos too. It's so cliche, but a very good piece of Big Brother advice is it's just as important who you leave in the house as it is who you vote out. To have these chaotic targets is very important. I'm very curious also how long Jocasta can just hide from all the cameras and diary room sessions before they find her and have to just evict her at some point. Can she really just ride this out? We don't even see her. I'm not a live feed watcher. Ian, is she ever on the feed? She's never on the show.
I have watched maybe, I had to have seen more than 40 hours of feed since the show has started. If not more than that, I've seen her like 6 or 7 times total.
You know, I don't watch nearly as much feeds as Brian, and really no other human does. But the couple times that I've seen Jocasta on the feeds and Big Brother After Dark, she's always talking about bathroom-related issues. And constipation, and how much fiber you should be taking, and what it should sound like when you go to the bathroom, and giving advice to people. It seems like she's really cornered the market on talking about all sorts of defecation issues. Yes.
The poo-poo.
Actually,
yeah, go ahead, Ian.
No. I was just to tie it back to the nominations real quick. I think that I heard rumblings that Caleb would be a target before Devin. So there you go.
Yeah, that's great. Never put Devin on the block. Devin is going to I think Devin is going to self-evict. Do you guys think that Devin goes out by a traditional vote, or do you guys think that he quits the game?
I think
they won't let anyone quit.
Yeah, production, probably at this point, he's their biggest vested interest right now, I think.
Yeah, because I had read in some of the feed notes I was reading that basically like he was getting crying in the shower, and he wouldn't put his microphone on, and they were telling him to, and he was saying no. I feel like these are the early signs of a guy who is over being in the house.
Well, and another inherent rule of Big Brother is the more that people go, I'm coming after you, and the more of the house that says I'm coming after you, the less chance you have of going home that following week. So I think he's going to survive this eviction strictly on that premise alone.
It's not as bleak as it looked like 2 days ago. Let's put it that way.
Okay. This is going to be very, very fascinating. So who is Derek's target?
Derek got into it with Jocasta last night, so I figured Jocasta's going on the block. She's definitely going to be one of Derek's nominees.
What's it like when Jocasta gets into it with someone? What is that?
She just told him straight up she didn't. Well, see, he had told her that he was going to play a manipulative game, and what he was saying to her was like, I am going to do that, but he meant like, but we're going to be playing together. But she just said no. She wasn't having none of that manipulative game. And she was basically telling him that last night, and that all of that talk that he was trying to give her about the bomb squad, he wasn't really in it, she wasn't having it. And she kept laughing to his face.
Now, we have one of the members of Team America in the co-H's OH for this week. So we can assume that Donnie and Frankie are going to be in Derek's ear. Are they going to have any input in this decision, Ian?
I don't think a whole lot of input. I mean, that seems to be an alliance of almost convenience. I know that they want to make the money together, but it seems like they all think of it as pretty secondary from what I've observed.
Okay. Do you get a good read on who Derek's actual closest allies are?
I would say Cody and I think Zach, right? At least. Yeah.
Cody's number one.
Yeah.
I think Team America allegiance is kind of legit. I'm wrong about that? I thought that was the real deal.
I mean, it's real in a way that it's like, yeah, it's convenient and cool to win cash as long as we can, but at the same time, I when push comes to shove, I don't think any one of the three would be hesitant to sack the others if they saw the opportunity as a good one.
Yeah, could Team America, let's say that Donnie and Derek are like, you know what, this isn't working out with Frankie. Do they have to stay together as Team America to keep making the money, or could they potentially vote out Frankie and say, hey, look, let's just make Team America a final 2 deal, and let's just keep making the money and not have Frankie to be bothered with? Do you know the rules, Ian?
Here's something I'm curious about. Is it $5,000 each to them, or is it $5,000? It is $5,000 each.
Yes.
Is it?
Okay, because I was confused about it last night. I always assumed it was each, and then someone said the wording wasn't particularly clear, and I was like, well, in that case, I would definitely want to ship out one of the 3, and that way I'd get a $2,500 share as opposed to a, $1,666 share. So, no, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. That's what I'm unsure of, and maybe it's in the rules and regulations, like the terms and conditions. Maybe that might be worth a good read.
Okay. Brian, do we know if we have gotten the task from Team America yet?
No, I haven't seen it.
Where was the voting? Do we even know what the options were?
The options were last night that you got to vote A, should the Team America try to make 2 of the house guests kiss and then tell the house they're in a showmance, or B, start a rumor that one of the house guests is related to a former house guest. So they could potentially start a rumor somebody is related to Matt Hoffman.
This is idiotic for sure.
I think
who would be the most likely
choice B.
What does that even mean? Okay, so what is starting? What qualifies starting rumor? Does that mean I
already did that too?
You're related to Ian, and now I get $5,000 because I started the rumor, whether anyone believes it or not.
Well, that's the thing is Derek already has basically done this. Like he's already joked like the other night when Nicole was kicking herself in the head and Christine were doing that. It's like, do you think there's a chance either one of them is like Ian Terry's cousin or something like that? And then other people in the house were kind of like, maybe. Like, would that count if it were like 5 days later? Like, that's like
right. Exactly.
A couple of people are like nodding in agreement. Well, it seems like it's very possible.
Yeah. I liked during the episode tonight when they went through all of the votes, and Hayden said, so I vote to evict DJ Paola Shea. And Julie Chen needed to clarify that. She says, like, as in Paola?
Yeah.
Yes. As in Zach.
That's like saying, I vote to evict, F.D. Roosevelt. To clarify, you mean Roosevelt, the one that was with the New Deal, right? No.
The Chen bot is programmed with a very rudimentary coding language that you need to speak in exact phrase matches, or it does not compute.
She's like Siri. Yeah.
And you can't say anything to her before you vote, or else you'll knock her off her cue.
Your circuits get all on the fritz.
Speaking of Julie, she had a couple of questions tonight. I thought that the one word to describe this week, after Jocasta used crazy, Frankie's thesaurus skills, there was a little bit of a waste of a question. And then asking Devin, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your HOH week? Devin goes with a 4.5. Obviously, this was the same scale of 1 to 10 that he rated Joey on as well. We've established Devin is not good with the scale of 1 to 10.
It was on the Richter scale.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Okay. Brian, is there anything from the feeds you want to that you feel like is spoilery that you may want to alert people for?
Nothing other than Zach kind of getting into Amber's head last night and getting her to campaign really hard and getting her like a target growing on her back. So that's a little bit of what Nicole's like really big on, like wanting Amber out, but nothing.
Okay, good. We're gonna start.
Shit!
What happened? What happened, Ian?
Big Brother Network just tweeted, Hayden just proposed to Nicole, BB16. Fuck!
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Just get the buzzer out.
I'm sorry, Ian. I'm sorry. Also, fake marriage ceremony is on a lot of people's live feed bingo cards. So this could have huge ramifications. both in the
Oh,
Big Brother game and the
damn
Big
it.
Brother live feed bingo game.
There goes my
Trash bag.
amazing race partner.
Oh no. All right. So of course you can check out the live feeds anytime and jump in. As I'm sure it will be a lot of craziness tonight using our link robhasawebsite.com/live feeds. Matt, I'm very excited about this coming up. The very two people that you presided over their wedding ceremony, Brendan and Rachel, will be my guests for a live edition of Rob Has a Podcast next Sunday night. Have you thought about flying out to be there?
I didn't even know this was happening.
Will you be there?
Vows.
Will you renew Brendan and Rachel's vows live at the Hollywood Improv on July 20th?
I will do that. We'll renew their vows. We'll do whatever other holy ceremonies. I'll give Brendan a bris if he needs one.
Oh no.
But
I don't know. I think we have on good authority. I think that's fine. No need for that.
Just help, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Okay. Yeah. So be there with us live on July 20th when we will be doing our live show with Brendan and Rachel. You can get tickets for our live show at the Hollywood Improv at robhasawebsite.com/RHAP live. Tickets are $10. It's going to be a very, very fun night. We'll talk about the episode from that Sunday night. I'll get you a live feed to watch the East Coast feed before you come. It's going to be a very, very fun night at the Hollywood Improv. So check that out.
Guys, he was shot down.
Oh, she said no.
Obviously.
Okay.
That's her go-to.
You just said that you get the live feeds before you come, which made me think of that's what she said, which made me think of, did you catch Julie today when she was like, she said something effective like, everybody make sure your hands are holding your ball. You have your balls in your hands. She said, make sure everyone has their balls in their hands when they approach the podium. Catch that? I thought it was so great.
Very good. I'm so used to listening for Jeff Probst to say inappropriate, out of context clips.
What was Jocasta doing? I'm sorry, now I'm on the HOH competition. What was she doing? It's the longest she's ever been on camera. She's just standing there with this fucking beat. So super annoying.
I just I know, but it's that competition actually in particular. The reason that it really frustrates me, I think they're good for the game because it means that you have to be like in good literally with everyone because anyone could win it in theory. But the thing that irritates me the most is if you want it to be a skill competition like it's supposed to, like, you know, hurry up, everyone needs to get up there and take their shot very quickly. You know, I mean, I get a 9 because like I'm the second or third last person to go, and you know, Joe takes 50 seconds to like line up his shot perfectly and still get a 2.
Yeah.
Well, based on what Rob said earlier, I have to assume that she was either pooping or praying during that.
Yeah, it was like her Jesus take the wheel moment.
Yeah.
Not pooping.
Yes. She's like, oh boy, I waited too long on this one. I need to. This is my window. Okay, let's get into taking your questions. Of course, you can send in your questions #RHAP or on our YouTube channel, robhasawebsite.com/YouTube. Okay, and let's go ahead and fire them up. Scott St. Pierre has pulled all these questions. Here's from Jeff Wallace, who wants to know: so if Devin becomes a have-not, what are the odds he's going to break it repeatedly by getting the whole house punished? LOL. If he feels like he's going down anyway, I think he will take any punishment BB gives. Now, I see that Jeff is a Canadian. Now, the rules in Big Brother Canada are a bit different on this, where if somebody who is a have-not violates the rules, the house gets punished. In Big Brother US, if a have-not violates the rules, isn't it true that the house guest could just get penalty noms and the house doesn't get punished?
Well, there's a provision in it, though, that states unless you are Enzo, then you are exempt from any punishments that may arise from eating.
From what I understand, they really don't like to give out the penalty nominations because it really does mess up the game. So unless you're like Jen Johnson and very, very deliberate about your, like, it's just like very intentional rule breaking, then that's when you get the penalty nomination or penalty vote if you're nominated that week. what the hell was it? I know Joe in my season, like, he would, like, cook the food while being a have-not, and he would just taste it because that's, like, out of habit. He's a chef. He tastes the food that he's making, and they would call him in and say, look, you really cannot do that. Like, that's not allowed. If we catch you doing it again, you know, penalty nom, penalty vote. And then I remember my favorite Joe, one of my favorite Joe moments was we're allowed to have salsa on the approved condiment list. So he just starts throwing just like random shit into the blender and just blending it, and then it's suddenly like a bunch of fruit in the blender. It's like, yeah, it's fruit salsa. Guys, let's have some fruit salsa here. And then it goes on for like 5 minutes and before they put the nix on that. But hey, everyone got their fruit, you know? Got their fruit in.
So, all right. So I want to talk about this that we didn't get to talk about. So they added the everybody in the Big Brother house is wearing a Fitbit now or some sort of similar device. We have a Big Brother activity tracker, and we can track how many footsteps and calories burned and miles traveled in the house of all of the house guests. Ian, are you enjoying this twist, and why do we need to know this information?
Okay, I know I heard that it might affect the game, which I'm actually a little bit interested in. However, if my understanding of these is correct, basically, anytime you wear one of these like watches, it like either it counts your steps or it measures your heart rate. So somebody literally, like if it like means like you get immunity for the week if you're very active, somebody could literally fap their way off the block.
Well, for the record, I think that there's a couple of problems with that. I think it tracks your steps. I think also you're supposed to wear it on your non-dominant hand with the Fitbit. I don't know if you can tamper with it, and I don't know if it tracks your heart rate. It just tracks your the rhythm of your taking steps.
Okay, well, either way, I think my statement still holds true. And the other thing is, I remember when I was in high school in gym class during like 12th grade, they made us wear those heart rate monitors, and then you had to report to the teacher what your heart rate was after you ran on the treadmill. And I had figured out that if you just jump off backward from the treadmill while it's moving, that juts your heart rate up ever so slightly because like your body has to readjust to like the change in velocity because you were going this way and then suddenly you jump back and you're disoriented. Your heart rate shoots up like by at least 10 or 15 and it gets you to the A range instead of like the B range.
Whoa. What? Oh my God. Yeah. Holy moly.
I came up with the life hack for those. So yeah, jump backward off the treadmill. Your body is surprised by the change that it goes through, velocity-wise, and then suddenly your heart rate just jumps up just because of the disorientation.
Matt, who's your guess for who has moved the least today?
Who has moved the least? Probably Jocasta, right? She's just tucked away in a vent somewhere. Probably
no, not Jocasta. Jocasta is in the middle of the pack. It was Cody. Only 986 steps taken today.
Okay, but really, who cares, right? Why are we doing this? What is this? I feel like that everything's so fucking interactive. Like, if they want to cast America, just put fucking cameras everywhere in the world, and America can be on TV. This is not. We tune in to watch these fucking weird people in an isolated ecosystem playing this game. Why is all this outside world interaction and then for useless bullshit like step trackers and stuff, right? Stupid.
Yeah.
Rob, something about this.
Yes, hey, we got to know how many steps people are taking.
Who's taking the most? Look, now I'm carrying, but tell me, I want to know.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get to Orange Shawl, who wants to know, how should Nicole use this week as HOH to develop her game? Should she try to make more alliances, and with whom? If there's anything that people don't need in the house, it's more alliances. Right, Ian, how should Nicole advance her game this week?
Not flirting with Hayden and Cody. kicking herself in the face more. No, I would just say, see, that's the thing is, I don't know how I feel about her being HOH. I think maybe like getting rid of Amber is just fine. I think that's a good target for her. It keeps some crazy targets in, and Amber is kind of a do-nothing that doesn't really like her. So I'm fully supportive of that.
Okay. Let's take another question here from Game Time Fitness. And Game Time Fitness wants to know, hey, Rob and company, do those little high fives and handshakes before voting annoy you as much as it does for me? It is, you know, we do have to watch it every week. It's become a Big Brother thing. Matt, does that do anything in the house?
No, I like watching those. I think it's fun to watch them. I like when the nerdy girls bump their titties together. I think it's a cool hallway this season too, in particular. It's fun.
Yeah. Is it awkward if it's a person that you don't like that goes? Do you have to sort of go through it anyway?
No, I would always just look the other, whatever, no eye contact.
Ian, any funny stories from the voting hallway?
I mean, they didn't start doing the funny stuff until after I was on, but I always did really enjoy, like, the handshake. And, I think, it'd be nice to swing dance with some cute girl when you walk through the hallways to vote.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take another question here from Kid Phoenix 96, who wants to know, Matt, if Devin were on BB12, would he be a part of the Brigade, and how long would he have lasted?
No, he wouldn't be a part of the Brigade.
Bro, hold on. Bro, look, I belong in the Brigade. I'm a bro. You can't have a brigade without Devin. You need me in there, man. I've got a daughter. I'll be cool. I promise you, I won't nominate anybody in the Alliance for eviction ever. And just put me in the Alliance, Matt. You won't regret it.
I'd probably go, how do you know about this Alliance? So that I'd have to let him in, I guess, if he's asking me. I go, all right.
What would Devin's nickname be in the Brigade?
What would he be?
A-bomb.
A-bomb? The father?
The father, Papa, something like that.
Would Enzo be able to work with Devin?
Yeah, of course. Enzo does. Sure, he can work with anybody. He just well, what is Enzo working? Let's define that first, right?
All right.
Enzo can spend the summer hanging out with Devin. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Sarah Ferguson wants to know, do you think Nicole will make her own nominations or will be influenced by Christine, Derek, or some other house guest? Ian, does your girl Nicole make her own nominations?
Actually, whenever she won, my initial thought was, congratulations, Christine, on being the HOH this week with a score of 4. I don't know. That's an interesting one to me. I think that Christine will guide her towards a decision that is good for both of them, but very well could be better for Christine herself. But I think it's a case of what's good for, the goose is probably good for that collective gander. So they should be pretty like-minded in what they want.
I think that Nicole should take advantage of her position in power and try and finagle her way in as the 10th member of the Bomb Squad.
Hey, Bomb Squad's effective. 2 people out, 2 people not in the Bomb Squad.
Why would you not try and get in when you're in power now?
10-person alliance in a house of 14. That's... It reminds me of Will in my season when there were 12 people in the game post reset, and he would walk around. He's like, "So final 11 deal, final 11 deal."
Okay, let's go to Carrie Stoner. Wants to know: do you think that Team America members Derek and Donnie can trust Frankie? We talked about this a little bit. Brian, can they trust Frankie?
I don't believe they can. I mean, they can trust Frankie to help them get money, I believe. But they don't trust him enough to discuss outside of Team America info with him. So, no, they can't trust him.
Does anybody really trust Frankie, Ian?
I mean, like I said, his hand has been caught in too many different cookie jars. I mean, it's not looking good for him.
I watched the video of I watched Frankie's Survivor application video. Have you guys seen this?
I have not.
Yeah, it's very odd because he has brown hair, It's very weird. It's weird to see. Okay.
I'm going to reserve my judgment on Frankie until I can see how many steps he's taken by the end of the week.
Wait, hold on. Do we have an update? Okay. We have an update on Frankie's steps. Okay. He's in third place currently. He has 4,598 steps taken. No word if he jumped off the treadmill backwards, though.
Okay, so if it's only counting steps, that's not going to do you any good. But I thought it was a heart rate monitor. So
is this like the Ferrari and Ferris Bueller has a day off, where you can run backwards and reverse your mileage?
No, that scares your heart. That scares your heart if you do anything backwards.
Okay.
Okay. This is from Alex Wilpon, who says, do you actually think that Frankie's in any danger of leaving the house anytime soon? Okay. This is an interesting question. Matt, is Frankie leaving anytime soon?
No, and I don't say this in in a rigging way, but he's another one that I think production has a very vested interest in keeping. And not that they're going to rig it, but they're good at what they do, and I think they want him around, and he might stick around. At least jury.
Ian or Brian, do you have any differing opinion on that?
Normally I would say I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon, but given the way the twist works, where there's 4 people going up, I mean, pretty much anybody that's not in really, really good with everyone in the house could just find themselves randomly up because the real targets won Battle of the Block or something like that, and then they just randomly go home. I mean, I still find it amusing that last week, had Hayden and Nicole not won the Battle of the Block, which, I mean, that could have happened, I suppose, that Nicole would have been the target. It's just like, what's up with that? That's totally random.
Okay, let's go to Captain Klefke, who wants to say, why did Derek try to get HOH? He was in a great spot. Frankie winning instead of Derek would have been just fine, but now Derek is in the spotlight. Should we look at Derek trying to win the HOH as a sign that he did not want Frankie in power, Ian?
I was wondering this myself, because I really don't see how winning HOH really behooved him. But, I mean, he might have some plan up his sleeve. It very well likely is, though, that he didn't want Frankie up there because, Frankie's kind of a wild card. You don't really know what he's up to.
Yeah. Do you think, is it possible that he could just want to see, he is a new father. Is it possible, he's got a daughter, bro. Is it possible he just wanted to get the letter, get the pictures, and then is going to put up a team that's probably going to lose in the Battle of the Block?
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I'd like to see, I need to see more feed. I need to see more feed before I can make that call.
All right. John Lacasio wants to know, what are Nicole and Derek's best moves as new HOH? Well, we talked about this. We talked a little bit earlier about what they should do. Matt, do you have any sense of what they or what they? We talked about what they will do. Do you have a sense of what they should do?
Showmance. Take advantage of having the 2 rooms and hook up.
Ian, are you concerned Derek will hook up with Nicole this week?
Oh, the kids would have hooves.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Gregory Contreras wants to know, how much credit should be given to Britney for getting her biggest enemy to save her this week? Okay. So do we want to give any strategic credit to Britney? Brian, is that the way it went down at all?
No, she was being given the veto when she did that thing that supposedly saved herself. So no, she doesn't deserve the credit for that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Anybody? Ian, do you disagree with that?
What was that again?
That Brian said that Britney did not do anything strategic to get herself off the block.
Yeah, not really. It was kind of just happened by accident. The Devin crush, I really cannot recommend watching that in particular. It's, I believe, 4:34 a.m. on July 9th.
But you don't recommend watching it.
I strongly recommend watching that moment. It's just really, really funny.
What's the moment again?
I think it's 4:34 a.m. on July 9th. Not sure which camera, but there's only two, so figure it out for yourself.
How do you remember that? How do you know that off the top of your head?
I mean, I have a pretty decent memory. I just saw it once. Someone told me what it was, and like you have to go in and punch it in, so I'm pretty likely to remember.
Amazing.
Interesting. Let's go down the line. I want to hear.
Not nearly as good as 2:12 a.m. on July 9th on camera 3.
I love this.
Yeah, I actually know what that is. Okay, so let's go down the line. I want to get a prediction call from you guys. 1 week from tonight, who is the next person evicted from the house? Brian.
Jocasta will be the next person evicted, or Victoria.
Give me one. You gotta give me one.
Jocasta will be evicted from the Big Brother house.
Ian.
I think Jocasta's a good pick, but I want to be different, so give me Amber.
Oh,
Amber. Matt.
I was gonna say Amber. I'm just gonna still say it because I guess I was going to anyway. I know it's boring, but I would Amber is who I think will go.
Amber. Boy. All right. Well, I guess if I have to say anybody, I will say that it will be Devin, but I hope not. Okay, we'll see. All right, let's go a couple more questions here on a Big Brother Thursday night. This is from Marlon Adams. Were you annoyed by the spectators that would not stop narrating during the HOH?
No, I thought it was hilarious, actually.
What was going on? The house guests were talking?
Yeah.
They don't read them the riot act before that?
Evidently not.
How dare they talk?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's take another question from Amazing Race Know-It-All. Do you think all of Derek's scheming and manipulation with everyone will come back to haunt him? This is a good question. Do you think that Derek is playing the game too hard right now, Brian?
No, he's going to nominate weak players and get Nicole just to do what she's going to do and nominate Amber and Caleb, and she'll probably try to cut a deal with them and pitch it as she's giving them safety, clearing him up. He'll have the opportunity to backdoor whoever he wants, but he'll have the nominations of Victoria and Jocasta on the block.
Okay. Let's go to Dave22XX, who says, Rob, do you agree that Jocasta is playing an incredible game? Serious winner vibes. I can't believe Ian Terry labeled her an early boot. That's from Dave. Ian, are you retracting your statement? Are you getting serious winner vibes from Jocasta?
No, I am not, actually. I do not see her winning the game. I have her quite low on my potential winner rankings list, which I haven't updated in a while, but I should probably get on it.
You know, I have to say that in the little bit that I've seen of Jocasta, she does seem like she's not as... I thought she was going to be kooky, and I thought she was going to be very confrontational. I think that she's been very pleasant in the time that I've seen her. Yes, she is talking about what your poop should be like a lot, but I have found her not to be particularly a bad player at all so far in what I've seen of her.
My only thing is that she's never seen, but her name always comes up for nominations. Like it's always one of the names that are just kind of out there, like as a possible nom, just because of the way the twist is formatted this year. And if push comes to shove, if she just finds herself randomly on the block against somebody the house cares about, she just doesn't have like the natural social allies or like the ties to anyone to just keep her in the game.
Okay, let's do two more questions here tonight. Jeff Spence wants to know, if Devin gets evicted, what would be the best outfit for him to go home in? Clownatard, bunny suit, or eggplant suit?
Well, he would have to be week 4's boot in order to get a unitard, because it is an even numbered season, so that would be the week 4 veto this year. So actually, now that I think about it, that'd actually be really hilarious. But knowing the way this game works, I mean, Amber, if she's there, is almost a shoe-in to get it, right?
To get a unitard?
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it typically is. Some random attractive girl that's like kind of there on the show, but not really. Just always seems to end up with it for some reason.
It would be hilarious to get Devin in a costume.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course it would be.
Yeah. Matt, do you have any suggestions?
Thank you for reminding me that that's coming up, whoever asked that question. Oh, that is perfectly timed. If he stays this week, oh.
Devin should get the father tard.
What does the father card look like?
What is that, with a plaid, perhaps, with like a straw hat?
A bunch of babies sewn onto it. I don't know.
Like a mustache?
Integrity.
Yeah. Integritard? Okay. Last question. Carrie Stoner wants to know, why didn't CBS show Zach blowing up the bomb squad to Hayden? It showed it was Devin that exposed it.
That's the second person with the last name Stoner that asked the question tonight.
It may not necessarily be a last name, Matt.
Ah.
The RHAP crowd. Okay, Brian, what do you think? Why didn't we get to see that? Did that turn out to be a big deal, Zach talking to Hayden about the bomb squad?
Well, Zach did expose the bomb squad to Hayden, but then Devin just invited Hayden into the bomb squad, so the person that Zach told about the bomb squad was in the bomb squad, so Zach went around and revised the record, saying, actually, it wasn't me that exposed the bomb squad, it was Devin, because he's told all of y'all, and that people are believing that.
Okay. Also, from Twitter, Zudi McBooty, he's telling me that Britney is currently trying to convince Nicole to put up Christine. Is that a bad move?
She's such a great player.
Oh, Lord. Holy moly. Oh,
real quick, we haven't talked much about Britney. Is Britney a bad player, Ian?
When I hear things like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
she's
tough.
What? Where does that even come from? That's not even like on any. No, it's just it's not even remotely logical. Like I don't even get it.
For someone like Britney who really doesn't ever sleep and isn't like she probably has the most alert, awake game time, and she seems to just be so clueless and out of the mix and everything.
Yeah.
She went a really long time without sleeping, like days. So she's like exhausted. She needs to sleep.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been so much fun here tonight. Matt, I'm very glad that you could join us here on a Thursday. Very fun having 2 out of the 3 Big Brother representatives from Reality Game Masters in the same place at the same time.
Yeah. Very fun one tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, very fun. It's been such a fun season. The fun will continue on Sunday night when we have the very popular Big Brother contestant Adam Pock is going to be joining us, Matt.
He is one of the most popular ones, I think. Somewhere I heard that.
Yes, that is what people are saying.
You better get your servers in check because they're going to get overloaded and bombarded with traffic for that.
Well, Adam Pock said, hey, when are you having me on? I got a lot to say about this season. So that Adam is going to be our guest on Sunday Night Live after the episode. So that's going to be at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be a lot to see on the live feeds. Of course, you can jump at any time. robhasawebsite.com/live feeds. Brian, do we have a sense of when they're going to do the nominations?
I guess sometime tomorrow.
Is it going to be a huge egg draw this week?
Could be.
It won't be as big. I'm sure that they're going to collude and have their nominations planned out, so the draw probably will mean nothing.
Yeah.
Well, aren't the nominations now at night?
Yeah,
I think we just
night of the HOH last week.
Yeah, but last week it was the 4th of July, and there was a lot of things going on that sort of made them have to move faster because they have the whole 4th of July party on the Radford lot, and they needed to be on an indoor lockdown during the day.
That's a very. I didn't even think that's why that would be like that. That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah, so I think that the Battle of the Block will be, I think we'll have more of a tradition. Maybe we'll see the nominations in the morning and then Battle of the Block in the afternoon on Friday.
It's very possible.
That sounds right, yeah.
Okay. All right, so much to do. Make sure you don't miss any of our Big Brother podcasts. You can subscribe to our iTunes podcast feed at robhasawebsite.com/iTunes, and then our YouTube feed at robhasawebsite.com/YouTube, or for all of our podcasts, robhasawebsite.com/iTunes. I will be speaking with Pow Pow tomorrow morning on Rob Has a Podcast. So a very, very, very busy Big Brother week. And, of course, you can also hear my interview with Joey on robhasawebsite.com. All right, any final thoughts, guys?
No, it's been an honor again, Rob. Thank you. I'm glad.
Thanks for having us.
Fantastic. All right. Have a great night, everybody. And don't forget, if you're in LA and you can make it for our Big Brother show on Sunday, July 20th, it's going to be a lot of fun. Go to robhasawebsite.com/RHAP live for more information about our special event with Brenchel. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.